Summary and Case Study Good to Great by Jim Collins. Jim Collins explores the factors that contribute to companies' success in making the leap from good to great. Collins uses the concept of the Hedgehog Concept as a guiding principle, suggesting that companies should focus on becoming the best in the world at something they are deeply passionate about, while also being mindful of their economic realities. The text examines a variety of case studies, analyzing the leadership styles, business strategies, and organizational cultures of companies that have successfully achieved greatness. Collins emphasizes the importance of disciplined action, the flywheel effect, and the importance of getting the right people on the bus to achieve sustained success. He also cautions against relying on charismatic leaders or dramatic change programs, as they often lead to short-term gains rather than long-term greatness. In Jim Collins's Good to Great, the introduction establishes the book's central question: can a good company become a great company, and if so, how? This question arose from a conversation with a McKinsey & Company managing director, Bill Meehan, who, while praising Collins's previous work, Built to Last, suggested it lacked practical application for companies seeking to achieve greatness. Collins says this conversation inspired a 5-year research effort to understand how good companies make the leap to greatness and sustain that performance over time. Collins and his research team meticulously selected companies that demonstrated a clear transition from good to great results, comparing them to a control group of companies that remained merely good. A prime example is Walgreens, which, after years of average performance, suddenly experienced a remarkable ascent in 1975, outperforming industry giants and the general stock market for 15 years. This pattern of a transition point followed by sustained outperformance formed the basis for selecting the 11 good to great examples for the study. The introduction emphasizes that the book is not solely about specific companies but rather about identifying universal principles applicable to any organization, whether a business, school, or government agency, seeking to achieve greatness. The research revealed several key insights. 1. Good to great companies did not primarily focus on what to do to become great but on what not to do and what to stop doing. 2. Technology, while valuable, was not the primary driver of transformation. Instead, it acted as an accelerator. 3. Mergers and acquisitions did not play a significant role in igniting transformations. 4. Good to great companies did not rely on complex programs or events. The transformation was a gradual process, often unnoticed at the time. Collins then outlines the book's framework, which consists of 3 broad stages: disciplined people, disciplined thought, and disciplined action, each with 2 key concepts. The concepts are: 1. Level 5 leadership. These leaders are characterized by humility and unwavering will, prioritizing the company's success over personal gain. 2. First who, then what. Assembling the right team before defining the direction is crucial for success. 3. Confront the brutal facts, yet never lose faith. This principle, termed the Stockdale paradox, involves accepting the harsh realities while maintaining unwavering faith. 4. The Hedgehog Concept. Developing a simple, deeply insightful concept for making strategic decisions is essential. 5. A culture of discipline. Combining freedom and responsibility within a framework of a highly developed system fuels consistent excellence. 6. Technology accelerators. Using technology strategically to enhance existing strengths and accelerate momentum is key. 7. The flywheel and the doom loop. Good to great transformations occur through consistent, disciplined effort over time, avoiding dramatic revolutions or quick fixes. The introduction also addresses the relationship between Good to Great and Built to Last, positioning the former as a prequel focusing on achieving sustained great results, which can then be built upon using the principles outlined in Built to Last to create an enduring great company. Finally, Collins emphasizes that his research is not limited to businesses but applies to any organization striving for enduring greatness. He encourages readers to critically evaluate the evidence and apply these principles to their own pursuits. Chapter 1. Good is the enemy of great, understanding the problem and its solution. Collins explained that the main problem preventing good companies from becoming great is their very goodness. It's easy to settle for being good enough, which prevents the pursuit of true excellence and lasting impact. The chapter emphasizes that achieving greatness requires a deliberate shift in mindset and approach. The first step towards this transformation is acknowledging the problem. Settling for good can manifest in various ways: complacency, lack of ambition, fear of failure, or clinging to outdated practices. Collins says it can also lead to a reactive approach, focusing on managing problems instead of seizing opportunities. Companies trapped in this mindset may experience decent results, but they fail to achieve the sustained, exceptional performance characteristic of great companies. Collins offers a solution to this pervasive problem through his research findings. He argues that achieving greatness requires a disciplined, consistent approach based on a deep understanding of the company's potential and its core values. The journey from good to great involves several key principles, which, when applied in a coherent and integrated manner, build momentum over time. Real-world companies. To illustrate the concept of good is the enemy of great, Collins presents examples of companies that both succumbed to this problem and overcame it. 1. A&P. In the early 20th century, A&P was the largest and most successful grocery retailer in America. However, after the death of its founder, A&P gradually lost its dominance. Despite numerous attempts at revival, the company ultimately failed to adapt to a changing market and slipped into mediocrity. This failure highlights the danger of complacency and the importance of continuous evolution, even when a company appears to be at the top of its game. 2. Bank of America. Collins contrasts Bank of America's approach to deregulation with that of Wells Fargo. Bank of America, clinging to its traditional banking model, resisted change and suffered significant losses. This example underscores the need to confront brutal facts and adapt to new realities, even when it means abandoning familiar practices. 3. R.J. Reynolds. R.J. Reynolds, a leading tobacco company, experienced a period of sustained success, but it eventually lost its discipline and strayed from its core business. This case illustrates the importance of maintaining focus and adherence to a clearly defined hedgehog concept. Chasing unrelated opportunities, no matter how attractive they appear, can lead to a dilution of strengths and ultimately hinder greatness. The company should focus on integrating these principles into their operations. Embrace Level 5 leadership. Cultivate a leadership culture that embodies both humility and unwavering professional will. Encourage leaders to prioritize the company's success over personal gain and to attribute success to their team and factors beyond themselves. Prioritize first who, then what. Make rigorous people decisions a top priority. Ensure you have the right people in the right roles before defining your vision or strategy. This involves being willing to make tough decisions, letting go of individuals who don't fit the culture or contribute to the company's highest goals, even if they are otherwise competent. Confront the brutal facts. Foster an environment where truth and reality are welcomed, not shunned. Encourage open dialogue and debate, allowing for dissenting opinions and challenging assumptions. This includes seeking out data and evidence to support decisions rather than relying on intuition or wishful thinking. Develop a clear hedgehog concept. Dedicate time and effort to understanding what your company can be the best in the world at, what drives your economic engine, and what your team is deeply passionate about. This involves a process of introspection, research, and analysis, ultimately leading to a simple, crystalline concept that guides all decisions. Build a culture of discipline. Create a culture that combines freedom and responsibility within a well-defined framework. Establish clear expectations and standards, but empower individuals to take ownership and make decisions within their areas of expertise. This also involves establishing processes and systems that support consistent excellence. Use technology as an accelerator. Avoid adopting technology simply because it's trendy or out of fear of being left behind. Instead, focus on technologies that align directly with your hedgehog concept and can enhance your existing strengths. Be a pioneer in applying technology within your defined area of excellence. Embrace the flywheel effect. Focus on consistent, disciplined action that builds momentum over time. Avoid grand pronouncements, quick fixes, or dramatic revolutions. Understand that achieving greatness is a cumulative process, with each step building upon the previous one. These principles, when applied together, create a virtuous cycle that propels good companies towards greatness. Real-world examples. Collins provides several examples of companies that applied these principles to achieve a transformation from good to great. While Collins don't explicitly detail how these companies implemented the solutions, their successes serve as examples. 1. Kimberly-Clark. Facing a declining core business, Kimberly-Clark, under the leadership of Darwin Smith, made a bold decision to divest from its traditional paper mills and focus entirely on the consumer paper-based products market, directly challenging industry giant Procter & Gamble. This decision, guided by a deep understanding of its potential and a willingness to confront the brutal facts, allowed Kimberly-Clark to become the best in the world in its chosen arena. 2. Kroger. Collins described how Kroger, once a struggling grocery chain, transformed itself by embracing the superstore concept. This involved replacing virtually its entire network of stores, a decision made after careful analysis of market trends and customer preferences. Kroger's commitment to its Hedgehog Concept and its disciplined execution allowed it to surpass A&P and become the leading grocery chain in America. 3. Walgreens. Walgreens provides a compelling example of applying the first who, then what principle. Collins highlights Walgreens' focus on recruiting and retaining top talent, even before defining a specific strategy. This emphasis on people allowed Walgreens to adapt to the changing retail landscape and thrive in the face of competition. These examples, along with others highlighted in Collins, demonstrate that the principles outlined in Good to Great are not mere theoretical concepts but can be effectively applied to achieve real-world success. By integrating these principles into their culture, strategy, and operations, companies can escape the trap of mediocrity and achieve enduring greatness. Chapter 2. Level 5 Leadership. A crucial element in the transformation of good companies into great ones. The chapter identifies the problem as the common misconception that larger-than-life, charismatic individuals are necessary to lead companies to greatness. This belief often leads organizations to prioritize style over substance, seeking out leaders with big personalities but lacking the essential qualities that drive enduring success. The chapter challenges this notion, arguing that the most effective leaders, level 5 leaders, are a paradoxical blend of personal humility and professional will. They are ambitious, driven, and determined to achieve greatness for their companies, but they shun personal accolades, attributing success to their teams and external factors. The chapter suggests that practicing the solution involves cultivating specific traits and behaviors that contribute to level 5 leadership. 1. Ambition for the company. Level 5 leaders prioritize the company's long-term success over personal gain. They are driven by a deep desire to build something great and lasting, often setting up successors for even greater success. 2. Compelling modesty. Level 5 leaders are self-effacing and modest, shunning public adulation and attributing success to their teams. They are more concerned with achieving results than receiving credit. 3. Unwavering resolve. Level 5 leaders possess a stoic determination to do what is necessary to achieve greatness, even if it means making difficult decisions. They are focused on the long-term goals and are willing to make short-term sacrifices. 4. The window and the mirror. Level 5 leaders look out the window to attribute success to others and external factors, while looking in the mirror to take responsibility for setbacks. This reflects their deep humility and their commitment to continuous improvement. Real-world companies embracing level 5 leadership. Collins showcase real-world companies that exemplify level 5 leadership. 1. Kimberly-Clark. Darwin Smith, CEO of Kimberly-Clark during its transition, exemplifies level 5 leadership through his humility and quiet determination. Despite facing a challenging industry and a powerful competitor, Smith made bold decisions, like divesting the traditional paper mills and focusing on consumer products, that ultimately led to Kimberly-Clark's remarkable success. He consistently attributed the company's achievements to his team and downplayed his own role, showcasing a deep commitment to the company's long-term well-being. 2. Fannie Mae. David Maxwell, who took over Fannie Mae in a period of significant financial distress, demonstrated level 5 leadership by prioritizing the company's survival and rebuilding over personal recognition. He focused on assembling a strong team, confronting the company's challenges head-on, and developing innovative solutions that transformed Fannie Mae into a high-performing organization. His actions, such as declining a significant portion of his retirement package to protect the company's reputation, reflect his unwavering commitment to Fannie Mae's success above personal gain. 3. Circuit City. Alan Wurtzel, who led the transformation of Circuit City from near bankruptcy to remarkable success, embodied Level 5 leadership through his focus on building a strong team and his commitment to learning and growth. Rather than imposing his own vision, Wurtzel encouraged open dialogue and debate, empowering his team to contribute their ideas and expertise. His approach fostered a culture of discipline and accountability, enabling Circuit City to achieve sustained excellence. These examples highlight how Level 5 leaders, through their unique combination of humility and resolve, create a lasting impact on their companies. They build strong teams, make courageous decisions, and foster cultures of discipline and accountability, ultimately guiding their organizations to achieve sustained greatness. Chapter 3: Getting the Right People on the Bus, the First Who. Then What Principle? Collins introduces a fundamental principle that sets apart the companies that made the leap to greatness: first who, then what. This chapter challenges the conventional wisdom of establishing a vision and strategy first and then finding people to execute it. Instead, it emphasizes the crucial importance of prioritizing people decisions above all else. The problem, as outlined in the chapter, is that companies often focus on the what, the vision, the strategy, the tactics, before ensuring they have the right people in place. This can lead to a myriad of issues, including misalignment, poor execution, and a lack of adaptability in a changing environment. The solution proposed by the chapter is simple yet profound: get the right people on the bus, the wrong people off the bus, and the right people in the right seats, before figuring out where to drive the bus. Practicing the first who principle. Collins suggests several practical disciplines for implementing the first who, then what principle. 1. Rigorous, not ruthless. While emphasizing the need for making tough people decisions, Collins cautioned against being ruthless. The focus should be on rigor, ensuring a thorough and thoughtful approach to evaluating individuals and their fit within the organization. 2. When in doubt, don't hire. Patience is key in finding the right people. Collins recommend resisting the urge to fill positions quickly, especially when doubts exist. It's better to leave a position vacant than to settle for a less than ideal candidate. 3. Act decisively. Once a hiring mistake is identified, swift action is necessary. Prolonging the situation can drain energy and negatively impact the team. 4. Invest in your biggest opportunities. Assign your best people to the areas with the greatest potential for growth and impact. Don't waste your top talent on trying to fix problems or manage mediocre performers. Real-world examples of first who in action. Collins offers compelling examples of companies that successfully implemented the first who, then what principle. 1. Fannie Mae. As our conversation history notes, David Maxwell, facing a financial crisis at Fannie Mae, prioritized assembling the right team before tackling the company's strategic challenges. This decision, made despite immense pressure to act quickly, highlights the importance of prioritizing people even in critical situations. 2. Wells Fargo. Carl Reichardt, during Wells Fargo's transition, focused on creating a culture of discipline and performance, ensuring he had the right people in place to navigate the challenges of deregulation. He understood that a strong team would be crucial to the company's success in the long term. 3. Circuit City. Collins highlight Alan Wurtzel's unwavering commitment to building the best, most professional management team in the industry at Circuit City. He prioritized finding the right people at all levels of the organization, from delivery drivers to vice presidents, recognizing that their collective talent would be essential to the company's transformation. 4. Kimberly-Clark. Darwin Smith, in leading Kimberly-Clark's transition, understood that the company's future depended on retaining and redeploying its top talent, even those with limited experience in the new consumer-focused business. He recognized the value of their existing capabilities and their potential to adapt to the new direction. 5. Nucor. Ken Iverson, in building Nucor, established a culture of discipline and meritocracy that attracted and retained self-motivated individuals. He understood that creating an environment that valued performance and rewarded excellence would naturally attract the right people to the organization. These examples illustrate how companies, by prioritizing people decisions and building strong teams, can create a solid foundation for achieving enduring greatness. They demonstrate that the first who, then what principle is not just a theoretical concept but a practical and powerful approach to building a truly great organization. Chapter 4: The importance of confronting the brutal facts. Collins emphasizes the critical role of confronting the brutal facts in the journey from good to great. The chapter argues that great companies distinguish themselves not by the absence of difficulties, but by their ability to face reality head-on, even when the truth is unpleasant or inconvenient. The problem, as highlighted in the chapter, is that many companies succumb to the temptation to ignore or downplay uncomfortable realities. This can manifest in various ways, such as clinging to outdated strategies, avoiding difficult conversations, or attributing setbacks to external factors rather than acknowledging internal weaknesses. The chapter proposes a solution: to create a culture where the truth is heard and acted upon, even when it's difficult. This requires a commitment to seeking out and acknowledging the brutal facts, no matter how challenging they may be. Practicing the art of confronting reality. Collins provides practical guidance on how to create an environment where the truth prevails. 1. Lead with questions, not answers. Encourage open dialogue and inquiry rather than imposing preconceived notions. Create a space where people feel safe to challenge assumptions and raise concerns without fear of retribution. 2. Engage in dialogue and debate. Foster a culture of healthy debate, where different perspectives are welcomed and encouraged. Seek out diverse viewpoints and challenge your own assumptions through rigorous discussion. 3. Conduct autopsies, without blame. When setbacks occur, analyze them thoroughly to understand the root causes. Focus on learning from mistakes rather than assigning blame, creating a culture of continuous improvement. 4. Build red flag mechanisms. Establish systems that surface critical information and ensure it reaches the right people. Encourage a proactive approach to identifying potential problems and addressing them before they escalate. Real-world companies embracing the brutal facts. Collins, along with our conversation history, offers several examples of companies that have successfully confronted the brutal facts. 1. Kroger. As discussed in our previous conversation, Kroger's leadership faced the brutal fact that its traditional grocery store model was becoming obsolete. Rather than clinging to the past, they embarked on a radical transformation, replacing nearly 100% of their stores with a new, modern format. This willingness to acknowledge the changing market dynamics and make bold changes was crucial to Kroger's success. 2. Pitney Bowes. Collins describes how Pitney Bowes confronted the brutal fact that its core business, postage meters, was facing increasing competition and technological disruption. By embracing this reality, they were able to expand their focus to encompass a broader range of messaging solutions, ultimately securing their long-term success. 3. Nucor. Collins highlights how Nucor, operating in a challenging steel industry, consistently confronted the brutal facts of competition, technological advancements, and market shifts. They adopted innovative production methods, embraced a decentralized organizational structure, and fostered a culture of continuous improvement, all driven by their willingness to face reality and adapt accordingly. 4. Gillette. Collins mentioned Gillette's resilience in the face of hostile takeover attempts, a testament to their ability to confront challenging situations and defend their core values. Their commitment to innovation and product excellence, even in the face of external pressures, exemplifies their dedication to facing the realities of a competitive marketplace. 5. Abbott Laboratories. Collins described how Abbott Laboratories confronted the brutal fact that they could no longer compete as a leading pharmaceutical company. Instead of chasing an unattainable goal, they shifted their focus to areas where they could excel, ultimately becoming a leader in cost-effective healthcare products. This strategic pivot, driven by a realistic assessment of their capabilities, enabled Abbott to achieve sustained success. These examples illustrate how companies, by embracing the brutal facts and acting decisively, can overcome adversity, adapt to changing circumstances, and achieve enduring greatness. They demonstrate that confronting the truth, though often difficult, is an essential ingredient in the recipe for lasting success. Chapter 5: Finding Your Hedgehog, The Simple Path to Greatness. Collins focuses on the hedgehog concept, a simple, crystalline concept that guides a company's strategic decisions and actions. It's about understanding what a company can be the best in the world at, what drives its economic engine, and what ignites its people's passion. The problem many companies face is that they lack a clear and concise understanding of their core strengths and how to leverage them for sustained success. They might chase fleeting opportunities, spread their resources too thin, or lack a unifying purpose that inspires and guides their actions. The solution lies in discovering and articulating a hedgehog concept. It's not a grand vision or an elaborate strategy, but a deep understanding of what makes a company truly exceptional and how it can translate that exceptionality into enduring results. The 3 circles of the hedgehog concept. Collins outlined 3 key questions that guide the development of a hedgehog concept. 1. What can you be the best in the world at? This isn't about what you want to be best at, but what you have a genuine potential to excel in. It's about identifying your true core competencies and understanding where you have a unique advantage. 2. What drives your economic engine? This is about understanding the fundamental economic principles that underpin your business. What is the key metric that has the greatest impact on your profitability? Collins referred to this as the economic denominator. 3. What are you deeply passionate about? This is about finding what truly inspires and motivates your people. What is the core purpose that gives your work meaning and drives your collective passion? The hedgehog concept emerges at the intersection of these 3 circles. It's the sweet spot where your core competencies align with your economic drivers and your passions. Practicing the hedgehog concept. Collins suggests several steps for discovering and implementing your hedgehog concept. 1. Confront the brutal facts. As discussed in our previous conversation, acknowledging your current reality, both the positive and the negative, is crucial to understanding your true potential. You need to be honest about your strengths and weaknesses, your opportunities and threats. 2. Engage in dialogue and debate. Create a safe environment where people can freely share their perspectives and challenge assumptions. Collins recommends forming a council, a group of key individuals who engage in ongoing discussions guided by the 3 circles. 3. Iterative process. The hedgehog concept isn't something you discover overnight. It emerges through an iterative process of asking questions, gathering data, analyzing results, and refining your understanding. Collins emphasized the importance of patience and persistence. 4. Disciplined action. Once you have a clear understanding of your hedgehog concept, you need to act with discipline and consistency. This means focusing your resources on activities that align with your 3 circles and ruthlessly eliminating anything that doesn't. Real-world companies with a hedgehog concept. Collins in our conversation history provides several examples of companies that have successfully implemented the hedgehog concept. 1. Wells Fargo. As we discussed previously, Wells Fargo identified its hedgehog concept as becoming the best bank in the western United States, focusing on serving its core customer base and leveraging its operational efficiency to drive profitability. This clear focus enabled them to navigate the challenges of deregulation and achieve exceptional results. 2. Abbott Laboratories. Collins explained how Abbott Laboratories, after realizing they couldn't be the best pharmaceutical company, found their hedgehog concept in creating cost-effective healthcare products. They focused on areas like hospital nutrition and diagnostics, aligning their core competencies with their passion for improving healthcare affordability. 3. Kimberly-Clark. Collins described how Kimberly-Clark, under Darwin Smith, transitioned from a paper company to a consumer goods giant. Their hedgehog concept was to become the best in the world at paper-based consumer products, leveraging their existing expertise in paper production and distribution. This focus led them to divest non-core businesses and invest heavily in brands like Kleenex and Huggies. 4. Nucor. Collins highlight how Nucor, a steel manufacturer, defined its hedgehog concept as harnessing culture and technology to produce steel more efficiently and cost-effectively than anyone else. They developed a unique organizational structure that empowered employees, created a culture of ownership and accountability, and embraced technological advancements. 5. Gillette. Collins mentioned Gillette's long-standing focus on creating high-quality shaving products, their deep understanding of consumer needs, and their relentless pursuit of innovation. This clarity of purpose and commitment to excellence, though not explicitly labeled as a hedgehog concept, aligns with the principles outlined in the chapter. These examples demonstrate how companies, by identifying their hedgehog concept and acting consistently within its framework, can achieve sustained greatness. The hedgehog concept provides a simple yet powerful roadmap for guiding strategic decisions, allocating resources, and inspiring action, all aligned with a deep understanding of what makes a company truly exceptional. Chapter 6: Cultivating a Culture of Discipline. Collins explores the crucial role of discipline in building enduringly great companies. It emphasizes that discipline, when combined with a clear understanding of the hedgehog concept, becomes a powerful force for sustained success. The problem many companies encounter is that they confuse discipline with bureaucracy or tyrannical leadership. They impose rigid rules and controls, stifle creativity, and ultimately fail to foster a culture where people are truly motivated and empowered to achieve exceptional results. The solution proposed in the chapter is to build a culture of discipline, where self-disciplined individuals, guided by a shared understanding of the hedgehog concept, take disciplined action within a framework that allows for both freedom and responsibility. Building a culture of discipline. Collins outlines several key principles for cultivating a culture of discipline. 1. Freedom and responsibility within a framework. The chapter highlights the importance of creating an environment where people have the freedom to act independently and make decisions, but within a clearly defined framework that aligns with the company's hedgehog concept. 2. Self-disciplined people. A culture of discipline starts with hiring and retaining individuals who are inherently self-motivated and committed to excellence. These are people who are willing to rinse their cottage cheese, going above and beyond the call of duty to achieve exceptional results. 3. Distinguishing discipline from tyranny. The chapter cautions against confusing a culture of discipline with a tyrannical leader who imposes rigid rules and controls. True discipline comes from within, driven by a shared understanding of the company's goals and values. Examples of companies with a culture of discipline. Collins provides several examples of companies that have successfully built a culture of discipline. 1. Abbott Laboratories. As discussed in previous conversations, Abbott Laboratories developed a culture of discipline rooted in a system of responsibility accounting. Each manager was held accountable for their return on investment, fostering a sense of ownership and responsibility across the organization. This disciplined approach to financial management, combined with a clear hedgehog concept, enabled Abbott to achieve consistent, long-term success. 2. Nucor. Collins highlights Nucor's highly egalitarian and meritocratic culture, where all employees, from executives to production workers, were treated with respect and held to high standards. Nucor's emphasis on employee ownership, profit sharing, and performance-based compensation fostered a culture of shared responsibility and discipline. Their aversion to hierarchical structures and bureaucratic rules, as exemplified by their modest headquarters, contrasted sharply with the extravagant practices of their competitor, Bethlehem Steel. 3. Wells Fargo. As discussed in our previous conversation, Wells Fargo, under the leadership of Carl Reichardt, embraced a culture of discipline characterized by frugality, efficiency, and a relentless focus on cost control. Reichardt led by example, rinsing his own cottage cheese by cutting executive perks and emphasizing a no-frills approach to management. This disciplined approach, coupled with their clear hedgehog concept of becoming the best bank in the western United States, enabled Wells Fargo to thrive in a rapidly changing industry. 4. Circuit City. Collins described how Circuit City, under Alan Wurtzel, built a culture of discipline that extended to every level of the organization. They emphasized the importance of hiring the right people, investing in their training, and empowering them to deliver exceptional customer service. This focus on building a highly competent and disciplined workforce, combined with their strategic focus on consumer electronics, fueled their remarkable growth. 5. Kimberly-Clark. Collins point to Kimberly-Clark's transformation under Darwin Smith, where a culture of discipline played a crucial role in their shift from a paper company to a consumer goods giant. Smith implemented stop-doing lists to eliminate activities that didn't align with their hedgehog concept, and he ruthlessly cut costs to reinvest in their core businesses. This disciplined approach to resource allocation and strategic focus enabled Kimberly-Clark to achieve sustained success in a highly competitive market. These examples illustrate how companies, by cultivating a culture of discipline, can achieve extraordinary results. Discipline, when grounded in a clear understanding of the hedgehog concept and embraced by self-motivated individuals, becomes a powerful force for driving consistent, long-term success. It's not about rigid rules and tyrannical leadership, but about empowering people to take ownership and act with both freedom and responsibility. Chapter 7: Harnessing Technology as an Accelerator, Not a Creator. Collins addresses the role of technology in a company's transformation from good to great. The chapter emphasizes that while technology can be a powerful tool for accelerating momentum, it's not the primary driver of sustained success. The problem many companies face is that they become enamored with the latest technological advancements, often falling prey to the hype and fear of being left behind. They invest heavily in technology without a clear understanding of how it aligns with their strategic goals, leading to wasted resources and missed opportunities. The solution proposed in the chapter is to view technology as an accelerator, not a creator, of momentum. This means applying technology selectively and strategically, focusing on those advancements that directly support a company's hedgehog concept and enhance its ability to achieve exceptional results. Applying technology strategically. Collins outlines several principles for harnessing technology effectively. 1. Link technology to the hedgehog concept. The most important factor in determining which technologies to adopt is whether they directly support the company's hedgehog concept. Companies should prioritize those technologies that enhance their core competencies, strengthen their economic engine, and fuel their passions. 2. Pioneering application of carefully selected technologies. Once a company identifies the technologies that align with its hedgehog concept, it should strive to become a pioneer in their application. This means being early adopters, investing in research and development, and continuously exploring innovative ways to leverage these technologies for competitive advantage. 3. Avoid technology fads. The chapter cautions against chasing every new technological trend. Companies should resist the pressure to adopt technologies simply because they are popular or hyped, and instead focus on those that genuinely contribute to their long-term goals. Real-world examples of companies applying technology strategically. Collins and our conversation history provides several examples of companies that have successfully harnessed technology as an accelerator of momentum. 1. Kroger. As discussed in previous conversations, Kroger was an early pioneer in the application of barcode scanners. While this might seem mundane, this technology enabled them to optimize inventory management, reduce costs, and improve efficiency. By linking frontline purchases to backroom inventory, Kroger gained a significant advantage over competitors like A&P, who were slow to adopt this technology. 2. Fannie Mae. Collins described how Fannie Mae, under the leadership of David Maxwell and Jim Johnson, significantly upgraded its technology infrastructure. They invested in sophisticated algorithms and computer analysis to assess mortgage risk more accurately, which allowed them to expand their lending portfolio while maintaining profitability. This pioneering application of technology directly supported their hedgehog concept of providing affordable housing and strengthened their economic engine. 3. Nucor. Collins highlight how Nucor, a steel manufacturer, embraced mini-mill technology and electric arc furnaces, which enabled them to produce steel more efficiently and cost-effectively than traditional steel mills. Nucor's commitment to technological innovation, combined with their unique organizational structure and culture of discipline, fueled their remarkable rise to become the most profitable steel company in America. 4. Walgreens. Collins detail how Walgreens, faced with the rise of online pharmacies like drugstore.com, took a measured and deliberate approach to adopting internet technology. Instead of reacting impulsively, they engaged in a thoughtful analysis of how the internet could enhance their existing business model, aligning their online strategy with their Hedgehog concept of convenience and customer service. This disciplined approach allowed Walgreens to establish a strong online presence while preserving their core business. 5. Circuit City. Collins mentioned Circuit City's strategic use of technology to enhance their customer service and operational efficiency. While specific examples are not provided, their focus on building a technologically sophisticated retail experience, combined with their disciplined approach to hiring, training, and empowering employees, contributed to their remarkable success in the consumer electronics market. These examples illustrate how companies, by applying technology selectively and strategically, can accelerate their momentum and achieve enduring greatness. The key lies in viewing technology as a tool to support a company's Hedgehog concept, not as a driver of strategy in and of itself. By aligning technological advancements with their core competencies, economic engines, and passions, companies can leverage the power of technology to achieve exceptional results. Chapter 8: The Flywheel Effect and Escaping the Doom Loop. Collins introduces the powerful analogy of the flywheel to describe the process of building momentum and achieving breakthrough results. It contrasts this with the doom loop, a pattern of inconsistent action and reactive decision-making that hinders progress and leads to mediocre results. The problem many companies face is that they seek quick fixes and dramatic turnarounds, often falling into the trap of reactive management. They jump from one initiative to the next, driven by short-term pressures and a desire for instant gratification, without building the sustained momentum necessary for enduring success. The solution proposed in the chapter is to embrace the flywheel effect, which involves a disciplined and consistent approach to building momentum over time. This entails 1. Accumulating small wins. The flywheel analogy emphasizes the importance of consistently taking small, deliberate steps in a single direction. Each action, like a push on the flywheel, builds upon previous efforts, gradually accelerating momentum until a point of breakthrough is reached. 2. Focusing on the Hedgehog concept. The flywheel should be aligned with a company's Hedgehog concept, ensuring that every action contributes to their core competencies, economic engine, and passions. 3. Resisting the temptation for quick fixes. The chapter cautions against seeking silver bullet solutions or dramatic turnarounds. Sustainable success is built through a patient and disciplined approach, accumulating small wins over time. Escaping the doom loop. The chapter also identifies the doom loop as a common pitfall for companies that fail to embrace the flywheel effect. This pattern is characterized by 1. Reactive management. Companies trapped in the doom loop constantly react to external pressures and short-term challenges, lacking a consistent strategic direction. 2. Misguided acquisitions. They often attempt to buy their way to growth through ill-conceived acquisitions that fail to align with their core competencies. 3. Disruptive leadership changes. New leaders frequently arrive with their own agendas, abandoning the previous direction and disrupting the momentum built by their predecessors. Real-world companies embracing the flywheel. While Collins don't explicitly label specific companies as purely flywheel examples, they provide numerous instances of companies applying the principles of consistent action, disciplined thought, and adherence to the Hedgehog concept. Here are 5 examples. 1. Kroger. As discussed extensively in our previous conversations, Kroger's transformation exemplifies the flywheel effect. By consistently executing their strategy of replacing old stores with larger, more modern supermarkets, they gradually built momentum, eventually surpassing their competitor, A&P. Their disciplined approach to expansion, coupled with their focus on their Hedgehog concept, enabled them to achieve sustained growth and profitability. 2. Nucor. Nucor's remarkable rise in the steel industry can be attributed to their persistent application of the flywheel principles. They steadily expanded their mini-mill operations, invested in innovative technologies, and cultivated a highly productive and egalitarian culture. Their consistent actions, aligned with their Hedgehog concept, generated a powerful flywheel effect, propelling them to become the most profitable steel company in America. 3. Wells Fargo. As we've discussed, Wells Fargo's disciplined approach to banking, characterized by cost control, operational efficiency, and a focus on their core market in the western United States, demonstrates the power of the flywheel. By consistently executing their strategy and resisting the temptation for risky ventures, they navigated industry deregulation and emerged as a dominant player. 4. Kimberly-Clark. Kimberly-Clark's decision to divest their traditional paper mills and focus on consumer paper products illustrates a strategic push on the flywheel. This bold move, combined with their subsequent disciplined actions to build their consumer brands, like Huggies diapers, generated significant momentum, transforming them into a consumer goods giant. 5. Circuit City. While Collins provide fewer specific details about Circuit City's flywheel, their emphasis on hiring the right people, investing in training, and building a culture of customer service suggests a consistent approach to building momentum. Their disciplined execution, coupled with their strategic focus on consumer electronics, fueled their impressive growth. These examples highlight how companies, by embracing the principles of the flywheel, can achieve extraordinary results. The key is to resist the allure of quick fixes and dramatic turnarounds, instead focusing on consistent action, disciplined thought, and adherence to the Hedgehog Concept. By patiently and persistently pushing the flywheel, companies can build the sustained momentum necessary for enduring success. Chapter 9: Building Enduring Greatness, From Good to Great to Built to Last. Collins explores the relationship between the concepts presented in the book and those outlined in Jim Collins' previous work, Built to Last. This chapter addresses the challenge of not just achieving greatness but sustaining it over the long term, evolving from a company that produces great results to an enduring great company with a lasting legacy. The problem many companies face is that they achieve a period of exceptional performance but fail to sustain it. They might lack the core values and purpose that provide a foundation for enduring success, or they might become complacent and lose the drive for continuous improvement. The solution proposed in this chapter is to build upon the principles of good to great and integrate them with the core concepts of built to last, which emphasizes 1. Core ideology. Enduring great companies possess a deeply ingrained set of core values and a fundamental purpose beyond just making money. This core ideology serves as a guiding principle, shaping their culture and decision-making even as they adapt to changing circumstances. 2. Preserve the core/stimulate progress. These companies master the art of balancing continuity and change. They preserve their core values and purpose while simultaneously stimulating progress, innovation, and renewal in everything else. Applying the principles of enduring greatness. This chapter offers several insights for applying these principles. 1. Building a company that can thrive without you. Level 5 leaders, with their humility and ambition for the company's success, focus on building a lasting institution that can prosper even in their absence. They prioritize developing future leaders and creating a culture of discipline that transcends individual personalities. 2. Discovering your core values and purpose. Companies seeking enduring greatness must go beyond simply generating profits and identify their core values and a fundamental reason for being that inspires and guides their actions. This involves a deep introspection and a commitment to articulating and embedding these principles throughout the organization. 3. Balancing continuity and change. Enduring companies excel at preserving their core ideology while simultaneously adapting to changing market conditions and embracing innovation. They find ways to stimulate progress and renewal without compromising their fundamental values and purpose. 4. Setting BAGs consistent with core ideology. BAGs, big hairy audacious goals, provide a compelling vision for the future and inspire action. However, to contribute to enduring greatness, BAGs must be carefully chosen to align with the company's core ideology. They should reflect the company's aspirations not just for financial success but also for making a meaningful impact on the world. Real-world companies embracing enduring greatness. Collins, while not explicitly labeling companies as purely built-to-last examples, provides several instances of companies that demonstrate aspects of core ideology, preserving the core while stimulating progress, and aligning actions with a deeper sense of purpose. Here are 5 examples. 1. Philip Morris. As we've discussed, Philip Morris executives, despite selling products that are often criticized, displayed a remarkable passion for their business and a strong sense of purpose. While their core ideology might not align with everyone's values, it provided them with a clear identity and a driving force for success. This unwavering commitment to their core, coupled with their strategic acumen and disciplined execution, propelled them to become a dominant force in the consumer goods industry. 2. Fannie Mae. Collins highlight Fannie Mae's unwavering dedication to increasing home ownership in America, going beyond the mere mechanics of financing mortgages. This deep sense of purpose, evident in their actions and the passion expressed by their employees, contributed to their transformation from a struggling entity to a highly successful and impactful organization. 3. Kimberly-Clark. Kimberly-Clark's decision to divest their traditional paper mills and focus on consumer products wasn't simply a strategic shift, it represented a commitment to a new core ideology centered on becoming a leader in consumer goods. This transformation, driven by Darwin Smith's unwavering belief in their potential and fueled by their subsequent disciplined actions, led them to achieve enduring success in a new market. 4. Abbott Laboratories. Collins described Abbott Laboratories' transition from a solely pharmaceutical-focused company to one dedicated to cost-effective healthcare. This shift reflected a deeper understanding of their potential and a refined sense of purpose, enabling them to achieve lasting success in a broader and more impactful field. 5. Walgreens. While primarily discussed in the context of technology adoption, Walgreens also demonstrates aspects of enduring greatness in their commitment to customer service and convenience. Their focus on these core values, even as they embraced online technologies, highlights their dedication to preserving their core ideology while adapting to changing market dynamics. These examples illustrate how companies can transition from simply achieving great results to building enduring greatness by cultivating a strong core ideology, balancing continuity and change, and aligning their actions with a deeper sense of purpose. It is important to note that while these companies exhibit characteristics of enduring greatness, a more comprehensive analysis would be required to fully assess their long-term performance and adherence to the built-to-last principles. The criteria for selecting good to great companies and examples. Jim Collins explores the factors that differentiate great companies from merely good ones. The author, along with his research team, established rigorous criteria to identify companies that successfully transitioned from good to great and sustained exceptional performance for a significant period. Here's a narrative explanation of these criteria and examples of companies that met these benchmarks. The primary criterion for selection was a sustained period of exceptional stock market performance. The research team searched for companies that exhibited a clear transition point, moving from a period of average or below-average stock returns to a period where their cumulative stock returns were at least 3 times greater than the general market for a duration of at least 15 years. This extended time frame ensured that the chosen companies were not just flashes in the pan but demonstrated enduring success. This rigorous standard weeded out companies that experienced temporary spikes in performance due to lucky breaks or charismatic leadership, focusing instead on those that achieved sustained greatness. For instance, a company like General Electric, often considered a benchmark for corporate excellence, only outperformed the market by 2.8 times over a 15-year period, failing to meet the study's criteria. The second key criterion was that the transition had to be specific to the company, not just a result of industry trends. If an entire industry experienced a boom, any company operating within that space would likely see improved performance. The research team aimed to isolate companies that achieved greatness through their own efforts, not simply by riding the wave of a favorable industry. This ensured that the identified factors contributing to greatness were inherent to the company's practices and not simply a byproduct of external circumstances. Lastly, the selected companies had to be well-established entities at the time of their transition, not startups or recent ventures. This criterion required companies to have been in operation for at least 25 years prior to the transition point and publicly traded with available stock return data for at least 10 years before the transition. This ensured that the companies had a substantial history and track record, allowing the researchers to compare their performance before and after the transition. Using these criteria, the research team meticulously analyzed a vast pool of companies listed in the Fortune 500 rankings. They ultimately identified 11 companies that satisfied all 3 conditions, demonstrating a remarkable transition from good to great and sustaining that exceptional performance for at least 15 years. Companies meeting the good to great criteria. Collins detail a rigorous selection process used to identify companies for the Good to Great research study. The research team, led by Jim Collins, sought companies that demonstrated a clear and definitive transition from good to great performance. This involved analyzing cumulative stock returns relative to the general market over a period of at least 15 years. The chosen companies had to exhibit a distinct pattern, showcasing a period of average or below-average returns followed by a sustained period of exceptional performance, exceeding the market by at least 3 times. The study emphasized that the transition to greatness had to be a company-specific phenomenon, not merely a result of operating in a thriving industry. The goal was to identify companies that achieved greatness through their own actions and strategic choices, rather than simply benefiting from favorable external circumstances. Additionally, the companies selected had to be established entities with a substantial track record, having been in operation for at least 25 years before their transition and publicly traded with stock return data available for at least 10 years prior to the transition point. Collins provide a list of 11 companies that met all of these stringent criteria, marking them as exemplars of the good to great transformation. 1. Abbott Laboratories. This pharmaceutical company, under the leadership of George Kane, underwent a significant transformation, focusing on building a portfolio of diverse and successful products. Their emphasis on rigorous hiring practices, confronting brutal facts, and building a culture of discipline propelled them to achieve and sustain exceptional performance. 2. Circuit City. This consumer electronics retailer, once struggling to compete, implemented a disciplined approach to growth, expanding strategically and prioritizing customer service and operational efficiency. Their consistent execution and focus on building momentum, the flywheel effect, enabled them to become a dominant force in their industry. 3. Fannie Mae. This government-sponsored enterprise, responsible for providing liquidity to the mortgage market, faced near bankruptcy before embarking on a remarkable turnaround. Their commitment to increasing homeownership in America, coupled with their focus on building a strong and cohesive organizational culture, fueled their transition to greatness. 4. Gillette. This global leader in personal care products navigated hostile takeover attempts and industry challenges to emerge as an even stronger and more successful company. Their unwavering focus on innovation, disciplined capital allocation, and a deep understanding of their core competencies contributed to their sustained exceptional performance. 5. Kimberly-Clark. This consumer goods company, known for iconic brands like Huggies and Kleenex, made a bold decision to divest their traditional paper mills and concentrate on building a dominant position in the consumer market. This strategic shift, coupled with their dedication to innovation and building strong brands, fueled their remarkable growth. 6. Kroger. This supermarket chain faced significant challenges adapting to industry changes but eventually implemented a bold strategy of replacing outdated stores with larger, modern supermarkets. Their disciplined approach to expansion, along with their focus on operational excellence and customer satisfaction, allowed them to outperform their rivals and achieve lasting success. 7. Nucor. This steel manufacturer thrived in a highly competitive and often challenging industry by harnessing a unique culture that emphasized employee empowerment, a flat organizational structure, and a commitment to technological innovation. Their ability to align employee interests with shareholder interests, coupled with their relentless focus on efficiency and cost control, distinguished them from their peers. 8. Philip Morris. This tobacco and consumer goods giant navigated changing social attitudes and regulatory pressures to become one of the most successful companies in the world. Their unwavering commitment to their core business, coupled with their disciplined approach to acquisitions and a deep understanding of consumer preferences, fueled their impressive growth. 9. Pitney Bowes. This company, known for their postage meters and mailing equipment, adapted to a changing technological landscape by expanding into new markets and diversifying their product offerings. Their commitment to innovation, coupled with their disciplined approach to capital allocation and a focus on building long-term value, enabled them to achieve sustained success. 10. Walgreens. This pharmacy chain embraced technological advancements while remaining committed to their core values of customer service and convenience. Their strategic adoption of online platforms and their focus on leveraging technology to enhance their existing strengths allowed them to thrive in an evolving retail landscape. 11. Wells Fargo. This bank emerged from a period of deregulation and industry consolidation as a stronger and more focused institution. Their commitment to operational efficiency, their disciplined approach to acquisitions, and their unwavering focus on serving their core customer base propelled them to achieve exceptional results in a challenging market. These 11 companies, carefully selected based on the good to great criteria, provide valuable insights into the factors that differentiate great companies from merely good ones. Their stories highlight the importance of disciplined leadership, confronting brutal facts, building a culture of discipline, focusing on core competencies, and harnessing the power of momentum to achieve and sustain exceptional results. Thank you for listening. I hope this content is useful to you. If you like this kind of content, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel to support our team.